Hello, everybody.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. This weekend flew by. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Hold on a second. So I got my sound on. Thanks.
I did. I slept till 2 today.
Right?
I wasn't feeling very
Right.
well, so apparently my body knew to just keep sleeping.
Yep.
But,
Right, Jen?
I'm feeling a little better, thank you.
She woke up. She's like, sun's going to go down pretty soon, huh?
I'm like, it looks like it's dark. It ain't dark out.
It's starting to get dark out. I'm drinking coffee at like 3:30.
Shut up. I showered. I'm good.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well,
but yeah, I haven't been feeling well the past couple of days, but whatever. We all have our days where we don't feel good, but I'm here, and that's all that matters.
Yep. And then she's eating something. The cat's trying to get a piece of it.
My cat's trying to eat it.
Get out of there, baby.
So, okay.
So anyway, so welcome to Sundays with Jen. I love doing this. Last week was probably the longest stream we've ever done, I think, right?
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours long. That was crazy. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. My stomach hurt and my face hurt.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah, from laughing so much. But, again, but there was a lot to talk about. And, we continue to laugh because it keeps us from crying in some cases,
We have to laugh and cry.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There's Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Charlene. Everybody's
here. Thanks for joining us, because we know that the glare is on right now, or was on at 6. I'm sure he's still on.
I'm sure he's still on. Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, but we just try to do this and kind of keep everybody informed of what's going on in town. There's so many different fights going on right now, and it's not necessarily just the fight for justice for Jesus, too many now.
For everybody,
right? For everyone, Karen and Justin and Enrique and Sandra, John O'Keefe, Officer John O'Keefe. I mean, just the names just continue on. The town of Canton and everything that's going on. So, we just try to put this together and bring everybody up to speed. And then we have our regular thing on Tuesdays. Speaking of which, we have Tuesday, just to bring that up. So we have a special guest, a Canton guy. Let's see, this guy right here. Whitey's coming on to talk about some things.
Whitey.
So we're looking forward to having him on. Whitey, town resident of Canton. He doesn't live there anymore, but he is very much a resident of the town. Hey, baby, how you doing? So we're going to have him on Tuesday, and we're going to just get to chatting and talk about everything, the select boards, and, we'll cover some of the topics that we talked about tonight, and then we'll get into some case stuff and everything else that we normally goes along with our Tuesday night shows. But tonight we got Jen's show, and we're going to talk about the audit a bit, and we'll talk about the select board and the school being built or potentially being built, the proposal for that, and everything else that goes along in the sun, under the suns, I should say. I'm tired as well. What the hell's going on?
It's Sunday.
So it is. It's Sunday. I'm just, maybe I need to take a sleep until 2.
Shut up.
You are. So
anyway,
without further ado, we'll bring Jen in and we'll get going here. So please hold. There she is.
Hi, Jen.
You're muted up, Jen.
Sorry about
that. That's all right. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
It's good to see you again.
You as well. I feel like I just saw you.
Because you did.
Yeah. I was one of the last people you saw before you closed your eyes.
That is very true.
Yes.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And then she woke up and potentially saw a text or a phone call, something like that.
I did. I woke up to a bunch of texts.
It's like, where are you? I'm nothing. I'm sleeping for a long time.
They but seriously, so we have a very select few that are on an actual text message thread, you know, so weird. It's not within social media based, but like every morning there are mornings it starts at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
5:30 a.m.
Yeah. You guys are up wicked early.
and it goes late. It's
Yeah.
not a like finishes at 5:30 p.m.
No, it's not. I can attest. It definitely starts early and ends late because I've had nights where it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. If she leaves the phone on, you hear bzz, bzz, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Oh, here's another message. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's Tuesday.
And I don't understand. Like my phone won't ring. Somehow I figured out how to turn the ringer off, but this particular group text, and I think it's because it's a mixture of cell phones or whatever. Like I must have different guidelines, like different parameters for different phones or whatever. So like whatever the loophole that I created a loophole that I literally get every single message that comes in. There's no like every 3 hours I get a big barrage. Nope. Every single message. Yeah.
I almost feel like I'm involved in the chats when I hear that phone buzzing.
And I can't figure. I have tried. And you ladies know who you are, and I love you dearly. But I have tried to figure out how to mute this fucking chat, and I can't. Like, it's all day.
It's all day. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I do love them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys chat a bit. It's good though. It's good. It's good to see that the friendships that were built throughout this whole process, and it still kind of blows my mind every day when I see like, how do these people communicate that much? Like, what do you have to say? I'm like, then I hang out for like a night and I'm like, oh, I get it. There's a lot of chatty people in that group.
We have a lot to say.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We have thoughts.
Yeah.
Jen, there's a lot of comments complimenting your hair, your new hair.
Oh, thank you. So yes. So my friend Laura Lee is not only an amazing friend, but an amazing hairdresser, and she's the only person that I allow to touch my hair. And she knows me very well, so she will do really bold things that like sometimes I'm like, whoa, what did I sign myself into? And then by the time I fall in love with it and I'm like, okay, it was out of my comfort zone, but like it looked really good and I love it, then it starts to like fade and do this, and like the blonde's coming back in, and by like if I leave it by summertime, like blonde will be back. But
yeah, no, it looks great.
We'll see what the mood swings. But yeah, Laura Lee, and she's opening up a salon too.
Cool.
Yeah, she's not ready, I don't believe, for me to announce it. But when she's ready, hopefully you guys will let me announce it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Big announcement.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's local, and she's really friggin' talented. And she'll probably let me tell a funny story related to all of the Karen Reed stuff, but like such a far-fetched on the outside story. But maybe not.
Okay.
Hopefully she can do something with this for me.
Maybe
she could. I'm telling you, like Carl is really, really skilled at everything. But you're gorgeous, Dana.
I know. I mean, thank you.
I know, right?
I know. I felt uncomfortable announcing that so boldly in front of Tracy, but I felt like Tracy was like, "Oh, thank you," because it was coming up on the time that I needed to remind him.
She knows.
How
She
handsome
knows, Jen.
he
She
is.
knows. You know it.
You know it. Whatever.
You are.
You are. I put this comment up because I've been meaning to get to the Middleborough standout because it is pretty much the closest one to us.
Yeah.
So yes, Bonnie. Maybe next weekend.
Yeah. Bonnie's actually one of the people in the probably one of the only group chats that I'm in. The random standout one. So I know when things are going on and we promote them every week. It just doesn't happen for us. So,
But we will. I mean,
yeah, we'll get down there for sure.
We will.
Yeah, you guys are doing great too. I love to see the turnout. It just seems like it's getting bigger and you're getting more support. And
Are they the one that's over the highway where they all wear pink?
They had,
often wear
that 495, yeah.
Yeah, we saw them when we went camping as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's cute.
There's many spottings of this group, like random spottings, like you suddenly just find yourself upon the road.
Yeah, it is.
And you're
like,
hey, is that coming?
Yeah.
You don't have your phone out. Like you look like a weirdo if you turn around and circle back.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't because I have it all written all over my car. But like maybe the average person might look odd. Sorry.
Our friend Gary was asking for the Cash App links, so I put the Venmo in our Cash App on the bottom. Also, if you would like, I got another a couple of sweatshirt orders this week, so I'm super psyched. If you guys want some, let me know. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's all. And Dennis said Legacy was awesome today. It's awesome every time.
It
just gets more filled with love and positive vibe, and it's just such a great standout. It really is. I love it.
Well, the people that are down there, you get like that one picture. It was,
they had a really good turnout today too, from the picture I saw.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the week before we were there, there was a majority of those people are actually from Canton, which is so inspiring as far as I'm concerned, because you get down there and you see all the originals, and these are the people from the town, and the people that are impacted, and the people that have voices, and the people that didn't have a voice for a while, and a lot of people were kind of quiet. And as time has gone on, it's like no more quiet.
Yeah,
but they were really, really supportive in the background. And I'm not saying all of them because I don't want any of them to have for anything that I say that they did or whatever. But I do know a few of them were very supportive in the background, meaning they would message you and show support for you speaking on behalf of them. They'd be like, I know everyone keeps throwing at you guys. You don't speak for me, but I gladly say you speak for me. So this is I just want people to understand, while some people just maybe are public, good evening, the alternative corner.
My boy Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
So while some people may seem like they're just coming out and speaking up, they have been incredibly supportive. And while having someone that you just meet on the sidewalk from a few towns away, or even a few states away, or even online a few countries away, that support is phenomenal and so amazing and appreciated. But having actual support from people that are townies and from the town and understand what it is that you're saying and appreciating that you're saying it is really extra validating, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So people outside of town is validating that what I'm saying makes sense. But like people within town, when they back you and send you private messages month after month after month before they publicly speak themselves, and they know who they are that I'm speaking of. But they are the group that you seem to be on your way to having on your lives. I'm all for it. All for it. Like,
Yep.
what a gentleman's club. Right? But like it's not like a gentleman's club in the negative aspects. Like they are really kind and nice men, and clearly have shown support for more than just a hot minute, you know, for me to have formed these opinions, and you guys are having them on, I think, at just the right moment.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, you know, look at these guys that stand up. You know, I'll call out one of them specifically as Dennis. You know, I mean Dennis, you know, jumps in, and you know, I'll say Sean as well. I could go on all day actually, because there's been a bunch of guys that literally have stood in those select board meetings when they were in person, which is back in July when they changed
right.
You know, but they were always standing there, and you know, they were the ones that had everyone's back, and you were the people standing up talking. You know, Brenda. There was a numerous amount of women, and that they were attacking the women. The board was treating you so poorly, and then finally, you know, Dennis was like, you know, at the audit meeting, like, you know, you people gotta cut the shit, you know, and I love it. I think
he watched it go on for an entire year. Like it was Rita, right. It was Kathleen, like. Right. Before Kathleen got on to the audit committee and like did properly, in my opinion, like I'm speaking for myself when I say this, but like kind of took a step back publicly from like expressing her opinions within the town publicly. She still expressed her opinions within her trusted group of human beings by all means.
Yep.
But you know, she didn't stop thinking when she got on the audit committee, is what I'm trying to imply.
Right.
Just maybe start vocalizing it publicly for the right reasons. I agree with, you know, like I agree. But where was I going? I don't know where I was going with that. But like whatever, I don't know where I was going with it. But regardless, she was a really like the right choice to have on the audit committee, because I remember complimenting this woman, Maureen Morin, on the school committee. And I was like, when Maureen comes to the school committee meetings, Maureen always comes with like files and like binders of papers, like she like whatever the itinerary is, like she has combed through everything. She's put little like sticky notes in the corners, like she knows when the agenda comes up for this, she's going to this page within her stack of information, and she's going to speak from there because she's practiced and she's done the research. And like I was super impressed with it. And I do want to say, when the evening that we got everything, like the audit, the big audit committee evening, like the big blow up meeting that turned out to be like a good meeting because it moved things forward ultimately. Kathleen came in with a stack of papers, like she indeed had done her homework,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? So I do like to appreciate and acknowledge when I see people do stuff that like to me it's like small things that like you'd have to know the room and understand and be in the room to even maybe appreciate and understand, because they don't show everyone walking in and sitting down. So you wouldn't know, like Kathleen may have walked in and sat down with a stack of papers, but they didn't show every single person sitting down at the table as they walked in and sat down. So
Right.
you have no idea in comparison if somebody else did that. So it's a situation where you need to be in the room to appreciate when somebody does something like that. And so Roxy's getting
But it's the effort too. I mean, you're
Yeah.
showing effort when you're showing up. You get a stack of papers and everything's flagged with sticky notes and that type of thing. It shows that you're trying, and even if you can't make the impact you're setting out to, you are trying to make an impact. And I give people like that all the credit in the world for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
So speaking of the school committee, so I heard that the vice chair stepped down. Did you hear that as well? Is that true, Laura?
So one of the members of the committee had stepped down.
Yeah.
That did happen.
Okay.
What's her name?
Laura.
I don't know if she was. I don't know if she had a title. Hold on one second. Let me put Roxy out. I'm so sorry.
Roxy.
That's where I just was. My dog was being an idiot.
Eating the bowl.
I was like,
Well, while Jen's letting the dog out, I want to promote this too. So we requested video submissions for John O'Keefe's birthday, which is December 8th. I put together a little quick video here just to kind of give you the instructions of what's going on.
Instructional video
by Dana. So, again, if anybody wants to contribute, we did this for the vigil last January, and it was really well received. We try to put it together as tastefully as we can. And, again, we want to just, this would be John's 49th birthday. So, check this out. And then again, if you want your submissions, you want to a quick video, a picture, even if it's a picture of a birthday cake, it says happy birthday John on it. That's totally fine. Anything is worth it. Show your appreciation. So hold on a second. I think they can still hear us. So I didn't put any music to this one.
That's beautiful.
So a short 10 to 15 second video or some pictures or whatever, message honoring him on his birthday. December 2nd will be the deadline. We need, some time to actually put everything together. Just send whatever you have to Tracy or I, and we'll throw it together and we'll put it together. We'll put it out on his birthday on the 8th. So hopefully everybody will, whoever wants to participate, please do. We got a lot of submissions back when we did the visual back in January, and some of them were like so heartfelt, especially that. I mean, it's a different thing, but again, in memory of a fallen police officer, a fallen brother, friend. It's definitely nice to acknowledge, like anybody does, when someone in their family or someone that they know or respect, or people need to be acknowledged. So I think this will be a good thing. So
yeah, it'd be awesome. Oh, also, before we get back to Jen, thank you, Gary Titus, for the $10 Cash App.
Oh, Gary, thank you.
He's such a great supporter.
Yeah, he is. We appreciate it, Gary. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So Jen, did you get her name? Laura Abadela or something like that? She is the school committee woman. I think she was the vice chair that actually stepped down. So
that is who it is.
Have they replaced that seat? Do you know?
They had interviews with individuals that came in. I saw 2 men interview. I don't know if there was more than that, but I did see 2 gentlemen interview. And yeah, sure enough, on paper, like they did sound good, but at the same time, like no real hard questions were being asked. Like if placed in a situation where the superintendent is being questioned for his quality of care, would you intervene, or would you just let the superintendent keep playing defense until the person hopefully tired out? Like,
Oh, really?
like I feel like
Dodgy questions.
someone with pure intentions would be like, is this a trick question?
Right. Yeah, exactly. But what am I supposed to say here? I know what the right answer is, but how do I get this position? Now, that's not what you ran for, though. You ran for the school committee, but it wasn't not the vice chair, right? It was just the.
I mean, they moved I don't think I would have been given by any means vice chair coming in brand new. I think that's kind of like each year the positions kind of move around. But I don't know. Like I said, like before all of this in the past year, I really didn't pay attention to all of this. So everything I'm learning is very much on the fly. It's not, I never learned how to do anything that I'm currently doing.
No, absolutely. I think it's a lot of people learn like that. You got to, put me in the situation.
Yeah.
I can tell you on paper that I can do this, that, and the other thing, but what your goal is and what my goal, I need to put my own spin on it to get get it to be accomplished. So I do that all the time at my work. They're like, learn how to do this. I'm like, okay, show me how to do it. Then they show me, I'm like, this is stupid. Well, let's try something else so we can get the same goal. But, we don't have to go this route with it.
Why does this is so not on topic, but why does corporate not know how to train the way the job's actually going to require?
Because they don't know how to do it.
Exactly. They don't know how to do it. And it's, what else too, I find is it's not required. Like, they're so high level that like, I've seen like written procedures that are just like them, just so high level and not effective to any type of teaching or learning. It's just, it doesn't make any sense, but that's my 2 cents.
It drives me insane.
Yeah.
I told you it was left field and I do apologize.
No, it's fine.
That's
It's
all
one
right.
of my pet peeves because I also learn by doing.
Yeah.
And I'm all about step-by-step procedures. And any of the people that have ever worked for me, I've always had like a procedure book and, with photos and arrows and like press here and do that, like teach them the actual job.
All the accoutrements.
Absolutely. Of
Absolutely.
learning the protocol.
It's not a protocol.
The procedure.
Proper protocol.
The protocol.
Yes.
It is though. It's tough.
This is how we make our money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What word would you like to join the lineup?
Would anyone like to add a word?
It can be bought, just to be clear.
It can be bought.
It can be bought.
We're gonna do like a
Like, you pick it.
we do like Pee-wee's
Not a single
Playhouse.
fuck yet.
We're like Pee-wee's Playhouse word of the day. And everybody can
Yeah.
scream. Protocol.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's
I like
silly.
it. I do.
So I wanted to kind of go back. So last week was Veterans Day, and my understanding was there was a lunch in town for veterans. And I don't know if you want to go this way or not with this thing, but the select
I
board,
don't mind going there.
only one person showed up.
Yeah.
How
Thank
is
you,
that?
JR McCourt.
Yeah,
Yes,
seriously.
exactly.
That was nice of you.
Yeah.
Well, isn't our friend from the pizza joint? Isn't he is he a veteran?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a picture hanging up in town?
Yeah.
On like one of the flags, the banners on the telephone pole.
Yeah.
Well,
Like a light post. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you go there and like support your fellow veterans?
And then he
be in
has
that
like
position?
his nephew. Like there's like multiple like family members. It's
In the
not
military,
even
yep.
just him. Like
Right.
this is another area that like their family dapples into, and it's probably when people aren't doing the college route.
Yeah, it just blew my mind to think that there was, we had one in town here, and there was my understanding that everybody was on board. Everybody, all the select board members and that type of thing, they showed up, and they may not have made an appearance for the entire event.
So
But they showed up.
last year, I remember I wish that I should have looked that up beforehand. Last year, we did call out members of the community for not being there, which is why I think, like John Conley said, there was a family emergency. I don't even know if Mike Laughlin gave an answer, and I don't think Chris Elbert gave an answer. And then John McCourt was there, and I don't know if Trish had prior arrangements.
Yeah. I mean, I understand
I feel like it's
family.
typically your first year into the job. Like, you'd want to be at every public
right.
event.
Right.
But like, hey, who the fuck am I? I'm one singular voice, one singular opinion.
Yep. Well, I mean, I personally
like that disclaimer, by the way.
Yeah.
I like it if you agree with me. But like, for me personally, I'm just one singular voice and opinion.
Yeah, I'm not from the town, but I agree with your voice and opinion on that one as well. So, I mean, come on.
Your first year on the job, maybe like that should have been an effort.
Yeah. Make an impression.
Yeah.
Of some kind of, the one that you made is not good in my eyes. But yeah, so I just wanted to, see what your take was on that. I think it's shameful. I think that,
I agree.
I mean, again, as a veteran myself, I literally, when people reach out to me on Veterans Day and just say Happy Veterans Day or acknowledge it or whatever, it means a lot. It's nice to hear, and then to have some kind of an event thrown together by the town and expect that the members of the select board will be there and they don't show up. It's kind of a kick in the face, So
during a year that they know like heightened media is on there, like on them, focuses on them, like you can't even fake it for the perception of the public. Like, that's actually your job requirement. Like, your job requirement is no matter what the fuck is going on, you're going to be able to keep your cool and lead us through it and keep the public persuasion and persona being, we're good, we're okay, we're going to make it through this. Of course, we're going through a little bit of a hiccup, as everyone can see. We have our high moments, we have our low moments right now. We're trying to move forward and hopefully see what comes, like, of our future. Like, there's so much fucking politics talk that they can do, and I'm not even a fucking politician. I don't even follow politicians. I literally just speak from my gut. Like, how do you validate someone and make them feel as though what they just said was heard? So you want to tell them you sound like a fucking blubbering idiot and crybaby. Like, oh my God, we do not have to agree. 98% of the time when I speak to people, I'm not actually agreeing with them. It's up to you motherfuckers to figure out who that 2% is. All right, 98% was like really aggressive, but it already slipped out for the
just
moment,
go with it. Just go with it.
It's me. It's probably 80%, to be quite honest. Like, there's 20% that get past the goal post with me that I actually care.
Yeah.
What
just
their opinion is. And it's very small for people that I actually ask, what is your opinion of like how I'm like, so fucking small of a crowd that I actually ask, what is your opinion of the way I'm presenting myself? So if you're within that circle, appreciate it or move the fuck out of the way, because there are others who are hoping.
Lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Thanks, Jess, for letting me borrow your foot again. I was in Jess's presence last night.
Oh, Jess. Let me see. Oh, I wanted to ask this too. Is another thing. So they let that guy Rod Matthews out of prison on parole. Yeah, do you know about that? So he apparently had taken a kid's life.
Sean Arlett.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yes.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah. In Canton. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the woods. Yeah.
So they were classmates. I just don't. You wonder if like again how good is the system, right? And we think about we're looking at all these people going up against going to prison. Does rehabilitation work in this case? I mean, who's to see? I mean, they got them on all these stipulations with GPS and drug testing and mandatory counseling and mental health counseling and all that stuff. That's all fine and well, but I don't know. But he was a kid when he did it too.
Yeah, but you could kill when you're a child. Most likely you don't just stop.
And now you have literally grown up.
Exactly.
Amongst criminals.
Right.
Who have taught you how to get caught or not get caught. Like that, now you're literally being raised by wolves. If you weren't before, if you weren't just being neglected and left to the wild, now you're like, and no offense to anyone who's been in prison and like reformed themselves, like, hey, for you, good job. But like the overall opinion is like, yeah, really able to control yourselves when it comes to making poor decisions, and hence how you're in prison at the current moment. That is the gist of it. So like, yeah,
it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous the fact that someone like that is walking on the street again, and
especially him.
Yeah,
I followed this case like ever since it happened. I was always about.
How did they not? They always have such a strong presence, like for the appeals, right?
Yes, every time. Yeah.
Was there not a strong presence this year?
No, no, there was.
Yeah, this was his fifth appeal, and they finally granted it. So he'd been pushing for it for years, trying to get out, claiming he's rehabilitated, and what happened when I was a kid was I was a kid, and undiagnosed mental health issues and all this other stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but dude, you know what you did, right? Like, I don't know. And to your point, you've been living among wolves for the past 36 years. So you think you're going to come out, you're going to be a pillar of community?
You can't rehabilitate killers. You just can't. It's just another level altogether. You shouldn't be releasing children who kill other children.
Like a level of their psyche, arousal, acceptance, denial, like normal, like they've unlocked like a whole different level that like the rest of us are not mentally prepared to fucking sing toe to toe with on a regular basis. Like it's really not something any of us would be mentally prepared to do. Like it's not, I really don't feel that was a good decision that was done.
Yeah. No, he served, he served 37 years, Mary. He was in there for, I believe, 37 years.
Yeah.
And, I don't know where he's residing right now. I have absolutely no idea, but he's claiming he wants to spend time with his family and take care of his mom and all this stuff. But the guy's in his 50s now.
Yeah.
He killed this kid when he was 14 years old. And he said he did it because he wanted to know what it felt like.
I was thinking of Tinder before. I'm fucking not now.
Yeah, right. Stay away.
Yeah.
I just want to also add that investigation.
Local, new to your population, like yay.
That investigation was led by Canton Police, and what was his name? The one before Rafferty. His name? The old chief.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
What was the old chief's name?
Before Rafferty, what was his name again?
Berkowitz.
Oh my God.
Berkowitz and Morrissey investigated this crime. And I just want everyone to know that Morrissey actually went to the child's house, to Rod Matthews' house, and questioned him and left. He didn't find anything weird about it. And you know who solved this crime? Is the 3 kids that Rod Matthews showed Sean's body to, and they told. And that's how they've been like, the whole county has just been praised by how well the investigation went and blah, 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 blah. I've watched several documentaries on this, and they've been in all of them. And at first they were back, the first couple appeals, they actually were in favor of releasing Rod. And then they got a lot of backlash. And now all of a sudden they're like, no, they go now just to like say, nope, we want to keep him in. It's just the same bullshit. I mean, a kid dies, a child kills a child, and they're still like, they were still like that back then. That was 30 whatever years ago.
Yep.
Same players. I mean, they're just idiots. Anyway, that was I'm sorry, going off.
Yeah.
So.
And I know it was like I know it was a child that killed a child, but like they took a life.
Right.
And they willfully did that. They fully understood what they were doing. They brought people back. They showed it off. They explained what happened. Like when they were arrested, they were aware of like why they were being arrested. There was no like delusion that I don't understand why you're here for me. I was just simply helping my friend sleep who wanted to sleep. Like there was no delusion of what like had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I do not often, and I'm not with this individual like saying to go for the death penalty, but like I think that maybe when this had first, although he was a child, sorry, like my brain's like walking through some of it as he was a child, so like it would have never been on the board. But they kept him in repeatedly after he became an adult. Like he's in his 50s now. So like he had a chance to become a full grown adult in their process that they felt would retrain him to be able to be acceptable to society. Like why did it take that many fucking years?
Right. Yeah.
Before you deemed that like he was good enough to go back to society? Like what happened that he's suddenly good enough? Like why? Like some questions definitely need to be asked. And like I don't think his mom still lives in this area.
No, I think she moved. I guess a lot of people were very, very rude to her in Canton when this all happened. She couldn't even walk around town without people just saying horrible things to her.
Yeah.
She's
I don't think that horrible things should have been said to her, because I do truly believe and know that intrusive thoughts are a real fucking thing. So I don't think that like it's fair to blame parents. If we find out down the road that there was years and years of abuse that led someone who was already having intrusive thoughts to now think that like physical violence was an okay option, like that's totally different. But like in general, like I don't jump on the bandwagon of blaming parents when children do wrong. I usually sympathize with the parent until proven otherwise, like proven that they were fucking assholes or that they never had their child's intentions at heart. Like they were never fighting for their child or trying to clear their child or get their child help or something, you know?
Well, the thing is, it gets me is, I mean, he was sentenced to life, you know, so 37 years they let him out. I mean, and it was premeditated. Yeah, he was a kid. He was 14 years old, but I mean, he singled out Sean, picked him out of this, and his rationale was, nobody will really miss him anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me. Are you freaking shitting me?
Yeah.
Like, how do you let the guy like that? I don't know. I don't get it.
But that's still, you got to remember that those are thoughts of a child, a 14-year-old, or
No,
yeah.
but that's not thought. Like, that's not normal thoughts of a
Right.
14-year-old child. A normal 14-year-old child does not have the thought, this child won't be missed.
That's why I just
feel
stopped
this
myself,
child.
because my child's
They won't be
14.
missed. Like, their
Yeah.
home life sucks, or they're on the slower side. Like, they won't be missed. It'll be a favor to, like,
Right. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
nope, you're not God. You don't get to fucking deem anyone's life differently than
Exactly.
yours. And I remember, like, when I first moved to Canton, sorry, that story, like, really bothers me.
No,
Like,
It's so
happened here in Canton. Like,
right. It was very
horrible.
disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very local and very, it was really moving around. I remember it really stayed with me all this time. So it was
that
it was
poor
rough.
child, that poor mom.
Yeah.
The poor community, like
Yeah.
anyone and everyone who lived in the community at that time, like, what a horrible thing. Like,
Mhm.
the whole, like, go home and hug your child a little bit tighter, like,
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yeah. Heartbreaking.
yeah. So, like, Canton has a dark history as well. Like, it's suffered as a community some really dark individuals that have lived amongst them, He's
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
I don't know. I'm saying, like,
Let's change the subject.
what did I do?
No, I'm glad you brought it up, because you haven't mentioned it, so I didn't realize that you were going to bring it up. So.
Yeah, I had it on
I'm
my
glad you
notes,
did.
but I forgot about it, so I had failed to mention it prior to. So
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I won't get emotional.
You can get
When I
emotional.
when I first moved to Canton, I remember, is particularly, like, where we live, I just felt like this really negative energy. And, like, there were many nights I would wake up and, like, having panic attacks and, like, having these, like, really vivid dreams. And, like, growing up, I kind of learned to, like, listen to my dreams, like, whether it was where I processed my subconscious or whatever fucking, whatever people want to digest it as. But, like, my dreams usually were like, way of seeing what my brain was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first moved here, I kept getting this horrible, scary feeling of, like, a child being brought into the woods. And, like, I did not, and, like, I love, like, Law and Order and all the true crime. Like, I thought, until I met all of you crazy lunatics, I thought I was pretty versed in it until I met everyone I currently know. And, like, I know nothing anymore. I know nothing. And I had learned about it just a few years ago, like, right before John O'Keefe had passed away, like, maybe a couple of years before John O'Keefe had passed away. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, that was the horrible sadness that I was thinking. Like, that was the connection I was making. Like, there was this horrible darkness that this town had, and I didn't know about it. No one ever talked about it. No one ever talks about it. And, like, that must be this, like, horrible darkness. But it never felt like it cleared. Even, like, I went down the hole. I researched the fuck out of this. There were a few documentaries, a few, like, different historic, like, things, like, news station, like, whatever I could find on the internet, I felt like I had found. And it really wasn't that much. And I'm like, there's still something that just doesn't get me. And like fast forward, like here we are with like Officer John O'Keefe and Karen Reed. And I'm like, know what? This was that feeling that I was getting. Like, oh, it's like when you get like something scratched. And I'm like, yep, this is that feeling. There was something big in the works. Like, it's not some kid from the past that like had been dragged into the woods. Like, that's horrible and toxic and scary. But it was like my involvement within the town of like feeling nervous for like my own family and like seeing like the reality of our town playing out right now.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know, like I'm like, oh, that was that feeling I was getting. Like I was trying to pre-warn myself, like you're gonna have a time where like you start to question like everybody you know in town. Like you don't know who's safe and who's not. And like, yeah.
You wonder why, though. It's like, is your subconscious, thinking that, it's like, well, where does that come from? It's weird.
Where to God, like I think I said in like your first live with me, I'm like, I don't know, I don't care if I sound crazy, but like, swear to God, sometimes you can like feel something coming down the tracks your way. Like you just know there's this bad omen coming, and you never like some bad stuff, like, so a family member will pass and you'll think, oh, was that it? Maybe that was it. That must have been it. But like, it never feels like it's fulfilled. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in like an icky situation for whatever the situation is. Like it might be way smaller than you thought.
Yep.
Maybe it's something way bigger than you thought. Like myself, I find myself in a bigger situation than I thought I would be in.
Yeah.
I was content thinking it was some historic story that had happened. And I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Like I saw that in my dreams and it like made sense. And it's like, now I'm like, no, that never felt right. Like, yeah, that's crazy that I found out that story along the pathway and that there's this dark history here. But like, that was never what I was supposed to be paying attention to. That was never
Right.
the story that I was supposed to be like aware of, individuals I was supposed to be aware of.
Right.
And then I thought like it was, our lovely individuals that we got to move out of town. Like I thought like that was it. There's someone else's problem. Like they're out of town. But even after they moved, it was crazy. Like all the other little things started happening at that point that had nothing to do with them. And like it was like a heightened danger feeling. And they had moved on. They moved to another town. So they weren't my threat either.
Yep.
So like I think it's clear that like what's going on in town right now was always meant to be like the threat that I was supposed to be part of,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a sixth sense, your subconscious is telling you like, hey, be wary, look out. And now here we are.
Right? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But,
it is. Yeah.
But you got to figure, you look at all these people that are involved and like you say, people left town and whatever, and you think it would go away. And even like the microscope.
Exactly. My problems really should have cleared up as
Yep.
far as my fears within the school district. Because my children aren't like the McAlbert's age range. You know what I mean? Like, and they're not in sports. So like they don't have that interaction. Like they just kind of like are their own beings within the town. And that kind of allots them their own individual safety. And I'm not challenging that by any means. Like that's not an invite for like a challenge or anything, but like they're truly just not a threat to fucking anyone anywhere. Like they just stay in their own lane. They're good at what they do. They never judge people. They actually, when they feel like one of their friends might get in trouble, they try to cover for a friend. Like, I know that they're good people. What are you doing?
The dog is
That's
walking
gonna
on our
get
chairs
behind me.
behind us. He's
Oh.
Not enough room.
and there's not.
I got a belly dog. You know, I
Me
gotta
too.
understand.
Yeah.
Dave's like, I'm being pushed into.
We know.
What
It's
the hell are you
causing
doing?
havoc behind us.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, again, somebody says premonitions, you know, that type of thing. It could be, you know, true. I mean, you know, I know people that have, you know, said, you know, oh, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. You know, it's like, you know, I don't believe truly about like psychic energy and all that type of thing, but dreams are something, and there's definitely something to dreams. And people, you know, people wake, you know, even when you wake up in the morning, you're like, I just had the strangest dream. What was it? I don't remember, but God did. That was wild. That happens to me all the time. If you
I do.
remember them, though.
And like, I do and I don't, because I don't want to get in like too deep on the psychic abilities. Like, I wouldn't live my life according to somebody's psychic abilities. Like, I would not make decisions because an individual said, according to your cards or the feeling I'm getting from you, this is where your heart should go. Like that, I've never subscribed to that. I'm never going, nope, not going to happen. I have, though, gone when I feel like I'm having like an emotional blockage. Like I know something's really fucking bothering me, but I myself have like set up too many barriers in order to stop myself from being harmed by the situation that's about to implode or happen. Like I know it's coming, so like I got to prevent myself and I shut it down. And so like I would go and be inclined to do like a psychic reading for something like that because I know it's going to touch on something, because the whole point is to like take reflection on what they say, and within your reflection is when your true concerns, true worries, and true heart come out. It's not them telling you what those are.
Right.
It's like them knowing how to ask a question, and it's usually typically like watching your body reactions and your pulse and all of those things.
Well, like, you know, like Mary says, you know, it's like an intuition. You know, I trust my own intuition of what's going on and what's going to happen potentially with me than I would if somebody else was saying, hey, by the way, you know, next week you're going to win the lottery and shit. I'm like, well, I know my luck, dude.
I would have to get a ticket. Historically, I don't do that. But does planting the seed like make you go and buy a ticket randomly because someone said you're going to hit it big this year or this week?
Right.
You know, like, and then you do. And what's big? Like maybe $200 is big to you. Maybe $2,000's big to you. Maybe 200 grand's big to you. Like what's big?
I win $2 and I'm happy. You know, that's,
I know. If I make the money back, I'm like, oh, scratched an itch and still recouped it back.
Yeah, exactly. So I could talk about the lottery and losing all night long, but let's move on.
Let's move on.
Making me sad. Now I'm going to have my cry of the night. Like,
I know. I'm sorry.
Why can't I win?
We're all crying.
Yeah, this sucks. So obviously, you know, we did want to talk about the you know, the meetings that are coming up the week and the special town meeting, which is tomorrow. So that's at 7:00 at the high school, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So that's
I have it off.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy that I can go.
Good.
So basically, it's to see if they're going to put the school on the ballot for the special town election in December.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on with that tomorrow?
Yeah.
So that's you know, what do they need? 2/3 vote to get it on to the ballot. So it will. I mean, I keep hearing mixed feelings about the school itself. You know, a lot of people from town are a lot of different. It's a lot of different feedback.
So, which part do you want to break down first? Because
Well,
it is like, I feel like there's. Which part do you want to do first?
well, I mean,
break it down.
yeah, I mean, however you think we should approach it. I mean, I think you look at first is, you know, the school's 50 years old, the current middle school, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, is it a necessity based upon, and I guess some of the concern from people in town would be
Population.
Population, that
Yeah.
type of thing, you know, the taxes that are going to
Yeah.
tax implications,
Mhm.
in the fact that there's potentially a ton of money that's going to be shelled out over
Yeah.
civil suits and shit surrounding all the stuff that's going on now.
Right?
You know,
Like,
wouldn't that be something that they'd be
Yeah.
like, well, wait a minute, hold
but we
on.
gotta have the money to complete it. Like, we get it. You sold us on how much money the state's gonna give us, and this grant and that grant, and all these bells and whistles that are gonna come with it. But like, in reality, are you riding out that like Karen Reed's gonna be found guilty and that won't be your fucking problem? Or are you financially being proactive in preparing for the reality that she might own the town and name it Reedsville? Like,
Right.
who the
Right.
fuck knows what she will do? Maybe it's Whoville. Who knows? I don't know. Minionville. Who knows?
Right.
But like, have they thought that through? Because typically my interactions with the district as a whole is that they are reactive and not proactive ever.
Yep.
So are they just putting us in the hole for this like shiny, pretty object over on the side to distract the masses? Like, we would never move ahead with something like this if we were worried about that. Like, is that what they're doing? Are they gaslighting to the extreme? Are they literally going to put us in a hole in a district with a school that will be half built without the ability to finish it because we are financially being raped by everyone that we fucked along the way in the last, at that whatever point, say 2 years, 3 years from now, you know, like,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
our journey. So yeah, are they thinking long run, or are they thinking just like, this sounds good, this is what we want, let's see what we can sell and push it through? And then there's so many layers to the actual vote and the people involved in the planning and selling it. And yeah,
I heard there was also a proposal, if they do it, is to take the old one and convert it into some kind of retirement village, some ridiculousness like that. Now that's something I just heard, and I don't know, it was maybe a suggestion. I don't know if that was actually talked about, but I read that somewhere. So I don't know.
I'm like, how safe of a community do we have? In theory, hear me out. In theory, that's not necessarily a bad plan, because like, it could totally be condo size, but it could only be condo size for the elderly, because they wouldn't live there long enough to develop any cancer from any of the issues that may be in it, because it's an older building, which is what one of the issues that one of the cells they're throwing at us. Like, let's get rid of the old building because there's asbestos and this and that, and like the ventilation isn't up to par, and all of these things are going to hurt your children in the long run and cause cancer. And once they say that, you're like, we must listen to them and do whatever they said. Yep. So like, in fairness, it's kind of a good business plan, because like if they have cancer, they already have cancer. I probably sound horrible. I was raised by Republicans, people. This is how you think. Like liability, they're gonna be dead by the time they develop cancer from the fucking like materials that house the middle school. Like they're already on their way out. Like you proved me that it was the housing they had for the last 5 years of their life in Canton, Massachusetts, versus wherever they lived before that. So I'm just saying it's kind of a good plan. Is that it's probably not going to be a positive view because it came right off the cuff. Sometimes it's good to filter those before they go.
Let it go, Jen. Let it go.
It is smart though. Like I don't want my kids in that building because it is old and there are materials that could cause cancer, and they're at the stage where like every time a kid's walking on it, that debris is going into the air and it seems like it's tiny, tiny particles, but like it's those tiny particles that like get in there and like leach on and then grow into something 30 years later. So like there's your cancer lesson. But like if you're moving in and you're 80, fucking what are the chances you're going to 110? What?
Right, exactly. Even 80 is a stretch for me at this point.
The building itself is still in really good condition.
Exactly.
Throw a few more elevators, and like who doesn't want that sunlight? They get the big windows. They'll be lovely. They'll be lovely. Each classroom becomes a unit. I think it's a good business plan.
It could be a possibility. I mean, you never know. But I mean, I look at the overall, I mean, the 241 million, right? For the school itself, for the new school. And then what is the tax rebate or whatever? The state gives back like 74 million out of that, but it still leaves the taxpayers with like a bill of 161 million a foot. That's a lot of freaking money. I don't know what the taxes are all about in the town, but I'm going to often think that your taxes are probably going to go up a little bit.
Yeah. So I actually am really happy to answer this question because I will honestly say once again, before I got involved in any of this, none of that would have ever fucking crossed my mind. To be quite frank, when I found out what the rise of the taxes would be for a middle school, I didn't really think it was that bad, especially all the bills. And like, again, I get it, not popular vote, but like, hear me out for a second. Hear the thought process. For me, I have a kid currently in the middle school. I had a kid already go through the middle school, and I have one who's going to eventually go through the middle school. And I've had extremely positive experiences with our middle school. Like I love the teachers. I have really thoroughly loved the teachers that I have met. I've actually really gotten along with the administration for the most part. There's a few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, like I personally can't fault our Canton Middle School. Like I adore all experiences for the most part that our children have had.
Yeah.
But I do like when you walk through the building, like I personally feel good in it because guess what? It looks just like the middle school I grew up in. Just like the middle school I was in. But back then it wasn't like it was 15, 20 years old at the time? Like maybe. Like it wasn't 50 years old at the time. So yeah, it was 20 years old. So like that's crazy. Like, so I feel comfortable in the middle school, but maybe it's not conducive to needing flexible learning spaces. Maybe it's not conducive to where the future is going as far as what's going to be needed for electricity pull for every single classroom, because every single child's always going to have a computer moving forward. Thank you, COVID. You know what I mean? Like that's a reality. Like classrooms are not currently inept to handle 25 or 20 laptops charging at the same time. They don't have enough plugs for that. And you can't, you're going to line the walls with desks and have extension cords and like power strips going? Like, how fucking dangerous is that? And like, someone's going to fry their classroom worth of computers. So, like, that's frowned upon, I'm sure. You know, like, so like you do, like the reality is we are moving into a more modernized learning environment. And I remember when I was at Bridgewater State, a lot of buildings were just being built and we were walking through them and we felt like they were so fucking state of the art because they were really computer based. Like they were really honing in on the ability to handle multiple computers being in the room, both Wi-Fi wise and power wise, like being able to be able to offer electricity. Because back then, like the batteries didn't hold for very long. Like they were like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, they
it's like on an emergency, you'd be able to use your laptop
as soon as you unplugged it, it died.
Yeah. Well, as it got used, it was only meant to be like on an emergency that you could like unplug it and use it. It wasn't actually meant to be used like on the go all the time.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at this is the proposal for the new school, right? And it looks wonderful, right? That's a nice looking, that's $241 million right there.
Yeah. I'm going to have so many unpopular opinions tonight. This is going to be fucking fun. Look how cool that does look, though. Like, seriously.
Great,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure if they build it and if it gets approved, again, but I think right now you got to go through, you got to get it to the ballot, right? To get it to the election or the town election for the 10th.
Yeah. Can I say one thing before I answer that real quick? Yes. On the like money going up, a year ago, I never would have thought. I really probably wouldn't have even known that it impacted my household in any shape or form, to be quite honest, a year ago. Now I see it, but like don't necessarily validate it to be an excessively high amount for what the product to be turned over is. However, due to people such as Brenda and Dennis Sweeney so graciously and not rudely putting into words what it means for them or people like themselves, that like $500 really is a big difference when you're budgeting every single penny. Like when you're living off of retirement funds and Social Security, like every single fucking penny counts. So a $500, $700, $1,000, depending on the property that you're living in. And some people may have been living in their properties long enough that they've owned it outright for a really long time. That doesn't mean that their taxes aren't high. That doesn't mean that their utilities to keep it running aren't high. And usually they're probably higher because they're older and they maybe have not updated all of the windows, the roof, the insulation, things like that in order to cut down costs, because in their brain, it's such big chunks of money, and that's not the way they were fucking raised to spend money. Like, like they were meant to, like, they were raised, at least my parents were all raised like the generation to like save, like only do something when you absolutely have to, but.
Well, like to your point, we both have full-time jobs, and if our taxes go up by $50, it's gonna, like that's our money's already allotted for a bunch of everything else. So to talk about going up $500 when you're on a fixed income, you're retired and getting, Social Security, that type of thing, that's a tough sell. You
Yeah.
know, that's definitely a tough sell.
So for the average, so I would not, to be quite honest, and I'm being very honest with our viewers, and I hope they appreciate that and don't eat me alive for it. Like, I'm trying to be really like humane and just be genuinely me and like food for thought. And you may not always agree, and I may change my mind 5 minutes later and be like, "Oh my god, what was I thinking? That was so stupid." It actually happens like midstream. I'm like,
That's that
"Whoa!"
that 98%.
But I really wouldn't have thought like $500 or $1,000 was a lot, and I do now. I really do now. I completely appreciate that every penny count like goes towards something, and that every minute that you have to work like is the pennies that are going towards all the things.
Right,
You know,
right.
and the pennies seem to go quicker than the minutes that we work, if anyone else agrees with that.
Oh, I fully agree with that. Oh my God, yeah. Yep. They're out the door before I even get them in the bank. I'm like, wait a minute, what
Yeah.
just happened?
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, Gail had the question. So do you know if they applied for grants for this? I'm assuming they
They
had,
did.
but
There's loads of grants. So that's one thing. There, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to jump into a different lead that Dana already may have in store.
no, go ahead. I don't. I'm just winging it.
Okay, so for the grants, they had loads of grants, loads and loads and loads of grants. They sold those grants every single fucking school committee. Like, I was at the school committees. Like, I was trying to get people to come and like listen and pay attention. So that's why I think a lot of the time when it comes to the middle school, I kind of sound like I'm a little close to the fence on where I sit with all the information, because I very much am. Like, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night, because I really am still very much struggling on how to vote for it. I do think it will increase property value. I do think that anytime we can invest in the children and the schools, in the buildings and the teachers, is a good use of money. I really do think that our school is really starting to show signs of wear and tear that could potentially, maybe not right this moment, impact our children's health, but in the long run, they're literally kicking up particles that are going to give them cancer. And every
Mhm.
single day that they do that increases their chance that they're going to get cancer down the road. And now, like, bring it into other avenues like malls and all these other places that haven't updated. So like every single time they do it out in the world, it increases their chances of getting cancer. So like it is really serious. So like, yes, the idea of getting a new middle school sounds glorious and beautiful and fantastic. And I truly could be very easily persuaded to be pro middle school and like really run with that narrative and pump it, because I do see the benefits of it. But what makes me screech to a motherfucking halt is Derek Folin and his literal like excitement level over the details that went into the middle school. So like, while people are at this moment trying to tear a few other people in the town for standing up and saying that they're not in full support of the middle school, I'm probably weighing more on the side of being in support temporarily, but I also do fully understand and appreciate why people are not. currently and
Right.
support. And even more so, I like personally could tip my scale if I would just allow my heart to listen to my fucking brain right now. I could tip that scale so fucking fast. Like Derek Folan does not know what our peanut allergy like protocol is. Kurt, tonight's word of the night. Pee Wee Herman, word of the night. Protocol is making a recall. Like, he doesn't know any of the proper protocols. He doesn't know what the safety measures for an EpiPen are. He doesn't know what the state guidelines for an EpiPen with on the school bus are. Like, he legit does not give a motherfucking ounce about your children. He is there for business. He is there to cut corners, cut money, and fucking at the expense of our babies. Everything you're going to work, every ounce of your being that you are burning yourself out at both ends of the candle so that you can provide for your children. Yeah, that asshole doesn't give a fuck. He does not give a fuck about your children. He does not give a fuck about your money. Get it through your heads. He doesn't give a fuck. Along with most of the people in power within our town. Not all. I will not say all, because I am learning through this process and graciously getting to know people throughout the process that it's not all. And the ones that it's not are amazing and kind and generous and help you rise. So I'm not saying all, but he is. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. Derek Folan is an asshole. Hate that man. He's on my list.
Uh-oh. I hate to be on your list.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm on the good list, I think.
I tried so hard. I gave it all my all. And like so many times I thought like, I'm going to get him this time. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And I didn't get him. But I digress. Who cares about that? Like that just involves the children. And quite frankly, a attorney gave me that wise advice one time. You care too much about the children. No one else cares that much about the children. I was heartbroken. Like, I'm really, really close to this individual. Like, it broke my brain a little bit when they first said it. But the longer I fought for the children in Canton and like put it out there and made it public and fought harder and brought more like bullshit to in protocol, their actual protocol is to the forefront, the more I felt like the parents weren't listening. And I'm like, what do you have to do and say to get parents in this fucking town to be like, oh, I care? Apparently it's at the finish line. This is going to cost us a whole fucking shitload of money, and it's going to cost everyone in town money now. Now everyone gives a fuck. Now everyone fucking gives a fuck.
Yeah, thanks.
So I put a lot of energy into the school district, and I was part of a team within this town. I fucking told you on repeat, watch that motherfucker. Watch the way he responds every time the middle school comes up. He is gleeful. He knows his facts. He knows his numbers. His terminology was fucking general public, referring to our children, like the general space that they would be out in. So like commonly referred to when dealing with children as free space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something even less joyous, flex space. That's another really common terminology.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He chose General Pop.
What? Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah. So he's building a little prison. He's going in and like his mentality is these little fuckers. Just so we know, that is Superintendent Folan's view of our beautiful babies is basically like he doesn't say it. He has never, just to be clear, said those little fuckers. I mean, not that I've ever actually heard,
Right.
but like his actions, his behaviors are those little fuckers. This is a money game for him. The way that he gets a hard on, and I'm like, sorry, I'm hoping that children aren't watching this. It's 8:00 at night. I know my children are somewhere else. Like, the man gets a hard on when it comes to the build of this middle school, particularly all the bonuses where all those like extra dollars are going that aren't the just basic build of the middle school, what the children actually need, and then like a gymnasium and a cafeteria and like beautiful, like, you know, common spaces. Another one, common spaces. Loads of terminology other than general population. So like there's a lot they could do in other towns within our very, very close proximity. Is that proximity?
Proximity.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. That's why I keep you guys around. Have had middle schools and high schools and such built and at a much lower cost. And I 1000% do agree, because it was a hot thing. I forget whose live I was watching, where when they said, but the cost went up since COVID. No joke, that is a thing when it comes to construction. And I don't want to sell that short either. I do think that this particular middle school, with or without the extra bells and whistles, would have cost at least 20 to 30% more than a middle school that was built right before or the very beginning of COVID.
Mhm.
Once supplies became hard to get, inflation kicked it up and it never went down again, and it never will go down again, because the general public proved that they are willing. There's your economics lesson, people. Brains tonight. Sorry. I'm like, you know, Tracy knows, like, when I impressed myself. I impressed myself there. But like, it really did, no joke. The price of materials, the price of labor, the price of gas, the fucking price of life went up. So like the middle school costing more, like having an example of a middle school that was built the year before COVID or within the very beginning years of COVID, because that money would have, for the most part, already been reserved, and it would have only become an issue once supply started becoming an issue, which would have been the very tail end of a middle or a high school build in the beginning of COVID, right? Like if you were watching, if you knew enough, like for, I don't know, Tracy wouldn't be knowing the import export of materials, but I was very familiar with import export of materials and the hiking of material prices and all of that during that time frame. So that would make sense, but not to the degree that it is at, and especially when the price difference is primarily for these add-ons. And I know like they did have surveys, and I had said to Tracy, I was like, again, another unpopular opinion is like, no joke, the surveys became a fucking nuisance. They were so annoying. Like they really did give you ample opportunity to give your opinion on shit. However, is it true that they only surveyed parents. And if that's the case, 1000% I agree with Rita, and I agree with Brenda, and I agree with Dennis. Like, that's bullshit. Because I know firsthand that those parent surveys do not turn over like a high turnout. Like, they never have a good turnout for those. So like, that's bullshit. For that much money for a town, like, you can't just survey the parents the same way you do for like, friggin', should we move half days instead of Wednesdays? Should we do it Monday or Friday? What should we do? Like, it's not the same. This is like putting, as some of our older population so graciously reminded us, putting some of the population in financial hardship, which one in my generation maybe wouldn't have thought would have put someone in financial hardship. But when you're not actively working and able to pick up a shift or able to make money in some other way and get creative, those dollars get real tight real fucking quick. So if that's the case, if they only surveyed parents in the district, then I hate to say it, like, doesn't surprise me at all. Would be really on brand, actually. But that would be really, that would that be like gross negligence with like finances of the town?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I would think so, right? Because you're trying to allocate money to something based upon, I mean, if you're reaching
And
out to
kind of
someone,
rigged the
right,
results,
right,
the
exactly.
public opinion.
If there's 24,000 people in the town and this is something that impacts the town, you can't reach out to a fragment of the town population and say, hey, by the way, do you want to do this? Yeah, okay, let's move forward then. That shouldn't work like that at all.
Yeah.
That's pretty unbelievable. They continue to, I continue to not be surprised with the shit that goes on. It really blows my mind what goes on in that town, what you guys deal with day in and day out. It just, every day or every week, it's something new, I mean, the other thing would be, with the audit, right? Duty and Rafferty getting involved into the mix of the audit now, right? Now that's a whole, I don't know if they're taking over. Do you have any clarity on that? Because I'm not positive if they're taking over. They're just part of the process now.
So from the very small amount of information I was able to get, and I reached out to a few different people, it sounds like they're not going to be able to dismember the audit committee, was what then, like, again, this is a very brief like text message that I was given, and then like Dana and I kind of going back and forth, like information he got. So like, we're not 100% sure. And I reached out to the audit committee themselves and I couldn't get like any clarification of what's happening. So from what I understood, the audit committee was dismembered, right? Disbanded.
Yep.
And Kathleen, David, Muse, and
I never remember that guy's name.
I want to say Patrick or something like that. It's like the state trooper guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. Are gone, or according to history, the story, we're gone. Like, just out of poof, we're gone. I wanted to know, like, was there a meeting for it? I don't know if there was a meeting, if they found out in an email, if there was a Zoom call that they were all on and they were told, but somehow they were all bounced according to the way life has unfolded on social media the last few days. And Bob McCarthy, Helena Rafferty, and Charles Duty were going to be the point of contact moving forward for 5 Stone.
Yep.
5 Stone or 5 Keystone?
No, Firestone Intelligence.
Firestone, yeah. For the audit company to come through and do the audit. So they were going to be their point of contact, which, again, not super popular opinion, but having like, I kind of very quietly just kind of read like everything that was coming through on a different pages and stuff. To a certain degree, if their roles were for point of contact, it would make sense.
Mhm.
Not to dissolve the team, the board, not to dissolve the committee, but to have the head of the committee, the chair, the administrative contact for the select board, and the chief of police, who's going to be the liaison for all documentation and request and everything that goes through the police department. Like, out of respect, you would go to the lead. Like, in all honesty, like, this is how I think it through. So like, it makes sense as long as you're not disbarring the whole board. If now nobody has a role in any of it and there's no longer any meetings where they collectively get to say, these are our questions for the auditor, what have they said, and they never have an opportunity to be in front of the auditor and see what the auditor is coming back with, then like, that's a no bueno situation.
Mhm.
But like, if they have these check-in points, like, to me, it doesn't sound like super crazy and sketchy. Like, of course, whatever fucking Bob McCarthy does and however he fucking does it is going to come off wrong. He's going to rub us all wrong every single time he makes a movement, because he literally just doesn't think like we do. Like, he doesn't, I really don't think he has social graces. I don't think that he's capable of giving social graces. Like, I think he's emotionally incapable. I think he's a rock.
Yeah, I think he might be a rock. Might be a rock.
Sorry, Bob. I'm trying to help you. Like, it actually helped you if we all started identifying you as a rock.
Yeah, that might do it.
Man. Kevin became a towel and instantly he became funny. But yeah.
No, I don't think that they're. I mean, I think Firestone seems to be legit. You know, the presentation that they made that I watched, I didn't watch the whole entire thing, but they seem like, I mean, they're ex, you know, retired this and that. I mean, they definitely their resume looks great, and they were chosen for a reason. And I hope that they come in and they can look at what's going on in this potential, you know, infiltration of, especially rapid. Knock it off.
So that, like, on the flip side of saying it makes sense on paper why Rafferty would be involved, like the point of interest, like the point of contact, at the same time, due to the cases we all are hoping will get flagged, she really shouldn't be the point of contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
she
Absolutely.
should have, like, she relies really heavily on Deputy Patty. I think it's deputy. If it's the wrong and it's something higher, then I'm really sorry. It was not personal or intentional. If you're lower than a deputy, then there you go. I promoted you.
There you go.
I don't know where it all lies. But like, she's kind of the point of contact when you FOIA stuff in like email, like for the town. I believe Deputy Patty becomes like your point of contact. So like, maybe she should have been the point of contact versus Rafferty for the police station. You know, like someone who clearly has access to documents, no matter what they are, but also not fucking someone that might become a suspect in some of the cases that
Right. And looking at Rafferty in general, I mean, it's, everything that goes on in that town now, it's a conflict of interest with her because she's got her nose in everything. It's
so bad.
It's so horrible. So
Yeah.
she should have no involvement in anything that goes on with this audit, period.
So many times I've gone to the school, like administration building, and just been like, I'll just walk in and see the superintendent. They're like, oh, he's not here. He's at the town hall. I'll go to the police station. Oh, Helena's not here. She's at the town hall. And I'm like, they're all fucking having meetings at the town hall. Like, when do you ever sit down and actually talk to the people in your community?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're all doing one-on-one, and like, no offense, but why is the motherfucking superintendent at like fruit flies? At least we get fruit, people. Fruit flies again. It's that weather. It keeps going up and down, up and down. At least I think that's what it is. Someone scientifically will prove me wrong. But like, where was I going with that? What did I say? Fruit flies, the weather.
Oh, hold on. I got sidetracked. Well, sorry.
The superintendent. Why is the superintendent going to bingo luncheons with the fucking senior citizens?
Really?
Why are their paths crossing? What do they have anything to do with each other? Why aren't you having luncheons with the parents? Right. Why aren't you leaving room in your calendar to have meetings with the parents? Why aren't you having group meetings with parents in schools that are having really serious bullying issues? Like, why aren't you open to that? Why are you at fucking luncheons for the senior citizens or the veterans or the this or the that? Like, your wheelhouse, your lane in our district is the children.
Mm-hmm.
Line up, buddy. Why are you at all these political events? So that when it comes to the town meetings, they all think, oh, he's such a good guy, though. He was night. He did this. He did that. Like, it's literally just to manipulate and gaslight the fucking elderly. That's what it is. It's gross. He's never available for the parents, the school, the like actual people that are paying his salary, but he has time for like shuffleboard.
Yeah, right.
He has time to hang out with Helena Rafferty and have meetings with her, but not regarding the safety of the students. Mm-hmm. There's no protocol, not that they can share anyways for that. But, him and Helena, like, they know each other from the senior center. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm so sick of those games. This is why I can't run for politics, by the way.
Sure you could.
I hate the game.
I'd appreciate your honesty more than anybody else's. Because, I mean, come on. Everybody's so, the corruption is just so ridiculous. Yeah.
But you're calling out you're calling it out, so that's even better. So that's even, I don't know. You're calling it out. Even as much as you hate it, you're calling it out. So that's good.
I can't stand Derek Folan, but like for valid reasons. So like, I'm not just saying like, I don't like him. He didn't listen to me. He didn't do what I wanted him to do. I'm telling you, like, I can pull up video. Man doesn't know our peanut allergy, like, protocol. Man doesn't know our EpiPen policy. Man doesn't know our bus protocol. Like, I can legit pull up meetings and pull up tape where the man doesn't know any of our fucking basic protocols that are quite honestly, that are on the agenda for the evening. So if he had done his job, he would know exactly what's in that fucking protocol because it's on the agenda for the evening. It is what is being discussed for the public of your town that evening. You better fucking roll up knowing what the protocol is. He never does. he deflects and reflects to everyone else in the room. Everyone else. He always knew the numbers, always knew what you needed to know about the middle school, always pushing it, always knowing it. So, like, I'm sorry, but that tells me all I need to know. Like, he's not in it for the children. He's not in it to keep them alive. He's in it for some ulterior motive, and is not so our children have some kick-ass fucking auditorium. There's something seedy, something shady going on. And can I put my finger on it? No, because I'm a fucking mom of 3 and I've been fighting the fight for like
right.
over a year, like spreading myself thin, and I can't fight all the fights. Like, that's why I was trying to rally people, get you interested, make you want to fight with me, make you want to show up to school committee meetings. I sure as hell started rolling up to the select board meetings when requested. Where was everyone that I requested to come to the school meetings? You would know this was in the pipeline. You would know how strongly he wanted this to pass. You would know that Helena Rafferty would fight tooth and nail for this to pass, because she was out there toting the company line too. You would have been watching their behavior for the past year, but you didn't, because you only deemed what was in front of you that was important because it was making you popular.
How long has he been seated? And to Cynthia's question, they voted him in, right?
No, he's not a voted in member of the school committee.
Oh,
no, he's the superintendent, which quite honestly, he shouldn't even be on the school committee. He should be a visiting advisor for the school committee, but he definitely shouldn't fucking have any vote for anything. Talk about motherfucking conflict of interest.
Right.
No thanks. Can't vote. He should not have any vote. He really shouldn't. The only members of the board that should be voting are members that have no actual like connection to the school. And same as like the select board, like Chris Albert can't vote if it's a police matter because he has family members who are police officers, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Should I be voting on stuff that is related to children in our district? Do I clearly have a stronger favor towards something? Like, if we really want to call stuff out, like, you shouldn't, if you have a lot of family members who are teachers in the school district, should you be running for school district? Should you be voting for school? Like, there's so many, like, no one ever pays close attention to the ethics in our town. But I feel like a lot of times we cross the lines in our ethics department throughout our entire district. Like, people are voting for things all the time that they have no business voting on. If you have family members who are teachers within our district, because everybody in our town and like the primary, like a lot of our teachers are Canton residents, they're townies, like, and now you're running the board. So like your cousin, your sister, and your best friend are all teachers. Like, who are you voting for? And you have 5 children. Like, are you voting for the best financial economic reasons of our school? Or are you voting because all of the people you love work in the school and you have children? Like, right. So like, are we paying attention to the ethics when it comes to every single board? Like, should it be a board of parents currently, or should the school committee be a board of fucking retirees who can financially put the needs of our town before the heartstrings of our district and our parents who are like, I'd love my child to have an AstroTurf. I'd love for them to have an open flex space. I'd love for them to have this. I'd love for them to have a Boca bar. Yeah. I'd love for all of that. Yeah. Could you serve them up stuff, please? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, sidebar.
When I was in school, I just wanted them to put in another smoking area. That's all I cared about.
You had an actual smoking area in your school?
We did.
Like where you could smoke cigarettes? out
Yeah.
in the open?
Well, yeah, they wouldn't allow us to smoke anything else on property. Yeah.
What school are you talking about?
Marshfield.
Oh, I'm like Hanover didn't
Yeah.
have. What?
We had a
That's so crazy.
yeah. I'm not young.
No, but you're not much older than me either. Like, it's not. You're not.
There we are.
No, you're not.
A little bit.
You're not.
I am.
Enough for a second smoking section.
So crazy.
That's so remind.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, that's why I go to meetings. That's why I attend the meetings. So I can watch like physical reactions to things. So I can be like, oh, these meetings are really boring. Like, I attended a lot of meetings before I actually started speaking. Like, just watching people and watching stuff. And like, it would be very rare. Like, it'd be kind of mundane and everyone kind of just go through the process. But once the middle school stuff started happening, like certain individuals would get really animated. Like, I think I referred to Kendall as a bobblehead at one point.
Oh, where'd you go? Here
No,
we go.
I'm not a fan of her.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
She's a twat.
You don't say.
I
You
hate
guys
her.
should do yourself a favor and go online and look up past school committee meetings that Jen spoke in. It's they're pretty amazing.
Yeah, maybe we can pull some snippets up for next show.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
have some. They're pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, well, we appreciate
Kendall
it.
and I had some good evenings together.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I made her climb across a desk to try to make me stop speaking. It was quite a glorious, interesting moment in my life. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a high that I'm gonna chase forever.
Amazing.
I want to get that reaction out of somebody.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Well,
Mrs. O'Donnell.
yeah.
And like the influx of the voice, like, I am not lying, people. Like, again, it's all on video. That's the best part.
I know. It's
So like,
awesome.
when I say like I've had like a good year, I mean in the sense of like the shit that I have endured for the most part has all been on video.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
like, I don't have to say like, oh, I'm victim of this. Oh, I'm victim of that. Like, I can legit show you the moments that people have like come after me or done stuff or like disagreed with me or whatever. I can be held responsible for my words, word for word, because the majority of them have been with the camera in front of me.
Right.
Yeah.
True. That's true as well. Yeah.
You know?
Was that
That's
moment captured on video there? That her coming across the table at you?
Not her. The voice inflection is
Yep.
definitely there.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell
And
something's
no
going
one else could see, but I assure you, for if you ever do, just take a moment and watch all of the school committee meetings where I spoke and you finally get to that golden egg meeting. You're gonna be cheering. You're gonna see her climbing across the desk, like, and you'll see. And I transitioned really well in that meeting because I knew what I knew that they weren't going to want me to continue quoting language that had been used against my children because
Yep.
it was very crass, very
absolutely.
derogatory, highly inappropriate, very uncomfortable to hear.
Yeah.
And in a heightened environment, after months of them being kind of twats and assholes to me, specifically referring to Kendall, Some of the stuff that I was saying, one maybe could misconstrue and wonder if I was simply quoting or ad-libbing myself in the moment. One won't ever know. All I know is I have a fucking report that has every single word I used in it. So not a single thing I said was directed at Kendall that was not in a report that was said to my children.
Right.
So I can prove
Yeah.
that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
What I said?
know. No. I know what you said. I heard it all. Believe me. No, I did. I did. I recall
It's
that.
one of my favorite, though, simply because I knew they were going to take issue with it. And while I never should have had to alter my use of my First Amendment right, I shouldn't have had to stop mid-speech and know that I had a second speech prepared, like literally exactly in the spot I knew they would call issue with. I had up until that point the speech, and then I had a second speech behind it, and I had my finger in it, and it literally picked up from that paragraph on. Like I could tell. I knew, like that's how much I had watched behavior that I knew exactly when I would heighten it enough that they would intervene and threaten to shut me down. But the sad part was during that statement, I didn't know my rights well enough. I didn't know that I could have said, you do not have to like what I'm saying. You do not have to like how I'm saying it, the volume I'm saying it. I simply have the right to say it. And in particular, it is quoted terminology that was used towards my children, and other parents within the district have the right to know that the school district very much deems this acceptable verbiage that's being used on the bus. And maybe your kindergartner isn't comfortable being asked which hole they pee out of. Maybe that's not something they're comfortable being asked.
Freaking messed up.
You never
It's like,
know.
well, if you don't like it hearing that as an adult, how do you think the children feel hearing that shit?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And I use that as an example because people are like, that's like, I mean, they'll go to defend it. They're like, yeah, but like kids are fucking kids and they say stupid stuff. And I'm like, okay, but a kindergartner, just so you know, when you're around children enough, goes to physically touch themselves to see what you're referring to.
Yeah.
So when a child is doing things like that, paired up with other terminology, which people can very easily see what I'm referring to, paired up with that terminology, it's typically a red flag that there's some really serious stuff happening with that child, either previously, currently, or like somewhere that child is screaming, I need your assistance, I need your help. This is the only way I know how to get your help. I'm going to actively put myself in repeated situations that I will be in trouble for so that you will have to focus on me and help me. The district didn't choose to do that. So like if you think that they're building a new middle school for your children at the top tier, like top shelf whiskey and tequila and vodka level, like they are not that top tier. And while I cannot prove it, like they can fucking sue me and prove that I'm wrong. That top tier is greasing their pockets. That top tier is going into their pockets. Someone's getting paid out. Somebody's being cashed out. Money's going somewhere. It is not out of the goodness of their hearts for our babies. It will never be out of the goodness of their hearts for our babies. And can I say that for like all the members of the school committee? Nope. And that's not what I'm saying. Do I think Kendall's in it for the goodness of our babies? Fuck no, that girl's a bitch. You're a
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah. Clearly, I'm not running for school committee again, people.
Oh, wait a minute. No?
Hate her.
Hey, I'll hold signs any day, Jen. Let me know.
I know. Seriously, you guys, like, when it comes to meeting people in your life that are true and true, you and Tracy are those types of people. You always show up. Stop. Oh.
You stop. Look at you. You always show up. You do. You do amazing things.
Maybe it's a mutual thing, but I do.
Maybe.
I feel like I just, anytime that I need, hell, literally on a random moment, and be like, I'm going to come over and we're going to have a fire pit right now. Like,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
See you
Sure.
soon.
Come on over.
We have snacks. Come over.
They really
Anytime. We're always here for you and for everybody
Everyone.
else. So many people that reach out, and even if it's just to lend an ear. Hey,
Yeah.
I got this to say. I got to get this off my chest. I love that people reach out.
Awesome.
It's kind of it's taken me a long time to get used to it, because some of the people are people that I don't associate with them every single day. Like we talk, you guys talk every single day, and by osmosis, I talk to you as well.
Tracy doesn't actually talk a lot in the chat. So, like, ladies, I know what you gotta watch out for.
Believe me, I know.
She knows all our secrets, Dana. She could take us all down.
I do, but I would never. They're just too entertaining.
No.
They would
She
lose their
runs
value.
her car to voice to so, like, no joke, this voice text starts sometimes at like 4 a.m.
And
And
which is why I don't
it's
say
literally
Yeah.
if ever there was a midlife group of women that was clustered together, when your group chat starts randomly at 4 a.m. and you're not even fucking mad about it.
Yeah.
You totally understand it. And you're like, oh, that sucks for you.
Yeah.
Glad I slept through it.
Yeah.
You've met your people. You've met the people that you're meant to be riding through life at that present moment with.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on a larger scale too, I mean, all the people that we've met are our people. You slowly, as much as you don't know them or their acquaintances, or you have spoken to, whatever, it's just we're all each other's people right now, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
For yours, Chloe, I never look at the chat, but somebody asked an actual question, so I was going to answer it.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jen, you have kids in the school? I do. I have one who has left the middle school. I have one in the middle school, and I have one who is in the elementary school in Canton. And my message, so everyone knows how much I very strongly support the teachers and the support staff in our schools and in our community. And I'm fully aware that a lot of our teachers are actually like townies and grew up here and went to school here themselves. So it's hard to always blanket cast the judgment that when the townies all get the jobs, that's a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes having your neighbors work in the school and work with your children and stuff is a good thing. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. And I understand like it's not fair to everyone. It's not fair to all the kids because like they're not all that teacher's neighbor, but like having a bunch of teachers that come from outside of the town and don't necessarily understand the demographic or the ups and downs or the challenges of the town in and of itself. Like we have a huge hockey community, which means that like I'd say at least half the kids all know each other at least through hockey. Like either they play it themselves or a sibling plays it. So like at least half the community's children know each other just through hockey alone. Never mind all the other sports and like avenues to get to know each other and stuff. So like having teachers that are part of all of that sometimes helps you navigate, or they can notice that like your child's not necessarily the popular one because they know they're not super sportsy. They're not in that avenue. So like their superpower may be your kid says pie a lot, and I'm calling out a teacher right now. Your kid says pie a lot, and it's a really fucking weird thing, and it draws a lot of weird attention to them. But that teacher is so amazing and so adversed within the community and knows how these kids think because they have children roughly around their ages and they do sports. So like they know these kids a little extra, and they knew how to take your child's weirdness and make it something that was celebrated within the classroom. And your child got to leave elementary school feeling like they were a bit of a superstar because of this weird thing that they always said. So like sometimes having community members in that close-knit community that can't and really wants to hold on to and stay, like this small town feeling, I can appreciate it and love it and see what the plus side to it is, but only when it's not used dangerously, like when it's not used as a shield. Like we only protect our own, only those of Canton can be, you know, like it can't be like that. But like, can you keep wanting to hold on to small town feeling? Yeah. Can you do that by having teachers and firefighters and police officers that are local? Yeah. But can you have random friggin' numbers? People, numbers isn't my bag, but like, can you have more than 30% be local teachers? No. Can you, or I don't know, maybe a little bit higher on the teachers because I've really seen the benefit of local teachers, but like firefighters, can you have more than 20% of local police, like in the areas where they really need to uphold the law and make sure that like human interaction doesn't interfere with their ability to uphold their job. That needs to be a lower ratio of like home bodies. Whereas school is like, some children make or break it in school simply because of the nurturing, loving nature of a teacher, right? So maybe having that more home feeling like, oh, this is my neighbor, or oh, that my neighbor knows this person through softball, or I know them because I play hockey and their kid plays hockey. Like maybe those aspects are more normal and natural to have like an overlap and have the home bodies be part of, because it's part of the heart of the community, not the numbers of the community. When you start getting into the numbers, I think you need to stop having townies and start treating it like a business and hiring people to do the job.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said. I like it.
I wish we knew which question started that. I think it was like what I thought of something of the middle school, which led to how much I hate Folan, which worked out into my feelings of how I think teachers within our community being home people is actually a good thing.
This is why we do this.
While doing it.
This is exactly why we do this.
We'll be like, how can we kick Kalena while doing this?
Yeah.
She annoys me.
Yes, she's very annoying.
So what do you think? You got anything else you want to add, or we call it an evening and give it back the rest of our Sunday nights?
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to close with?
Anyone have questions?
Anybody?
Sorry. You singing?
Yeah, I was for a
Okay.
second.
Where's Chloe? How do I look 21? In all honesty, all roads lead to before this past year. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of the bullshit. I have probably aged a lot in this past year.
Yeah, but you still look great.
Oh, thank you. No, I think truly figuring out a positive way of taking negative situations in your life. So like figuring out how you can most positively react. And that doesn't mean being nice with your reaction. That doesn't mean being polite with your reaction. It doesn't mean being quiet with your reaction. But like figuring out a way that you can either not react because that saves energy, or know when something's worth your reaction because it's going to use your energy. And I think that my entire life, I have been, unbeknownst to myself, very good at being able to navigate that. And yeah, I do. I really think it's a matter of being able to balance your reaction. The less stress that you can put on your own body and mental psyche and protect yourself from receiving from the outside world, the younger you'll feel, the younger you'll sound, you'll want to be celebrating, like going on hikes and looking for like spray painted rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Why do rocks always come into play with our group? Are we all penguins? Is that what it is?
That would make sense.
Well, I'm living proof of your theory because I'm actually 29 years old and I went the opposite direction. I look old as shit.
You're 29?
Yeah.
Because he focused on nothing but negative and had poor reaction.
I had a horrible. Yep, I had to change my ways. Now maybe I'll be like, what's that thing the ages backwards? Benjamin
Button.
Maybe I'll go backwards in time now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start looking handsome again.
Like Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, thank God. It's about time you look good. Feel the love.
Are you really?
Movie, right?
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Oh, crap. All right. Well,
yeah, so I'll be at the meeting tomorrow night.
Good.
Okay.
I am actually really excited to learn more at the meeting. Because I am still, for one, in the town of Canton, extremely torn on the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it truly seems that people are back and forth. I heard people say, yeah, I'm for it, and then they change their mind and then go back. So, it's definitely
it really sucks because, like, quite frankly, and I am not saying everyone that's involved and is pro middle school is gaslighting or anything like that. Like, that is not what I'm saying. But the individuals that are being like questionable, because I'm sorry, there's just no fucking way that the middle school is squeaky clean. Like, if you vote yes, you're voting yes to some form of fucking corruption. Somebody's pocket's getting greased. Somebody's making money off of it. Someone's getting behind the scenes deal. Someone's going to get hired for this job that they don't really deserve. Like, fucking shit's going to happen, and we're going to continue the corruption wheel. And that is actually what is ultimately what you're voting for. That is what a yes vote is for. It will further the Canton corruption. It's just matter of fact. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way the middle school is clean, not the characters that are involved.
Yeah.
However, they're really good at like gaslighting, and they're really good at pulling on the heartstrings and getting people that truly are leaders in the community and truly are passionate when it comes to their children, and really did believe like there's always some bait and switch, and I guarantee the price of like the middle, like the auditorium and all these bonuses, I guarantee if we go back and we watch the meetings, there'll have been some wording where they did like bait and switches. Like this grant is going to pay for this when really it's paying for this over here. And now we're covering the cost. You know, like they always move like wording around and numbers around, and they do it on purpose, which is why they only surveyed, from the looks of it, the parents in the community for a whole lot of fucking money, right? Because they knew it was the easiest way to get the response they wanted. They could fix that. They could make sure that enough people voted for it, because they know that when it comes to community surveys, the ones who don't respond most often are the parents, because they're working full-time, doing sports, going to parent-teacher meetings, going to therapy for their children, doing grocery shopping, going to active like after school activities. Like it is fucking crazy. It's you don't have a moment. So of course they surveyed them for it, but they made sure that every single meeting, unfortunately for people whose narrative is that they didn't tell us, I'm really sorry, but like they painstakingly told you every step of the way what they were doing. Maybe the right questions weren't being asked because nobody was paying attention, but I don't like, at some point we can't like kick and scream and be mad at everything if we're not asking the questions and we're not paying attention till it's the finish line. So like I do appreciate and understand why the people who have genuine hearts and true intentions, who are very pro the new middle school, are very disheartened and upset with people that are kicking up a storm and causing a scene, because it's very frustrating and deflating to get this far to suddenly have people give a fuck, right? To think you're in the final like home stretch to something you worked hard and believe in is coming in the home stretch. So I think like my question, which hopefully we can have an answer before next week, would be if we removed some of the big ticket items like the auditorium. There was another one that was a big ticket, but like the cafeteria really does sound, and like I know a lot of the classrooms were meant to be made in a way that could be flex space, and I really do, especially on the main floor of the building, think that that would be really beneficial, because they could do like art exhibits and such like that right within the whole building, instead of having to go and do it at different buildings and use other spaces and stuff like that, like using the expenses and making a bill for themselves when they wouldn't need it by using other buildings within the town. So like there is always some good stuff, and I did pay attention to a lot of the stuff that they said over the past year when they talked about the middle school. So I think like, is there any way that we can trim the budget at this point without scrapping the entire project? Hopefully that tomorrow night we're allowed to ask those questions. I literally have PTSD from the idea of standing up. I really don't want, like, I don't want to have to stand at the microphone and ask a question. So I want to know if like anything can be scrapped, and then we can move forward with like the build of a much needed new middle school that ultimately will increase the property value of our community and give us higher school ratings as well for people looking to buy. But in the same breath, will the Karen Reed trial bankrupt us and leave us high and dry with a half-built middle school?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Who knows? And then again, true to form in the town of Canton, like, who do we trust? All the players that have like reaches when money's involved seem to always be involved in the big projects, right? And like anyone's human nature who's been standing up and having a voice or paying half attention for the past year would want to take away what they clearly seem to value for themselves, their little toy. Like, the responsible thing would be to take away this little toy from them and see where things fall out. But that is very selfish for a community that could also use a middle school. So,
Right. No, absolutely. It's a double-edged sword in that regard, but
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be
And
interesting to
those
see.
teachers, like, again, I can't stress enough what an amazing experience we have had with the people that work in the middle school. So to think that anything that I would say would hinder them from having an environment that like they truly deserve is a hard pill to swallow as well, you know?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So I hope that like tonight's feed for people at the very least, like at least within the town of Canton, it's probably not a super interesting show for people outside of the town of Canton, but like within Canton, like kind of start bouncing it back and forth. Like maybe their gut is telling them that like they shouldn't vote yes, but they just can't figure out why.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just as simple as the people who are in charge of the money have proven themselves to be shady motherfuckers.
That's no lie. Yep.
And like maybe that means this year we don't vote a middle school in. Maybe our current children and our current population does another 3 years while we watch the trial unfold and the lawsuits unfold and see where we stand financially. That would be the responsible thing to do. And revisit the idea of building a middle school and suddenly seeing the reality request, the realistic request in order to get it pushed through because it is something that's required. Suddenly, when people don't have their hand in the cookie jar and it's just what can we do that's in the best interest of everyone involved, like it can get achieved, but maybe this year isn't the year for it.
Yeah. It's worth posing the questions, though. Hopefully, somebody has the answers. You know, that's all you can do. Look at, hey now.
Oh, and there's hey now. Protocol for anything here, buddy?
Oh my god.
I love it.
Ask Bob. I don't need security. I don't honestly like I don't think people are following me. I think some stuff that's happened to me is literally like Murphy's Law, like the whole like when it rains it pours. So like some bullshit happens and because the universe is off kilter for me at that time, like it just kind of snowballs and like raises the bar a little. I don't know why it happens, but like I really don't think that I need security. Not at this moment. Maybe down the road, but like at this present moment, like I live here in Canton and I'm not feeling a threat. I'm actually looking forward to going to the town meeting tomorrow night because I'm not walking in feeling like a nobody anymore. Like the last town meeting, I really didn't know a lot of people. I had just really started to get to know people within the community, right? this is an entire year later.
Mhm,
Like, I
right.
know people, I know faces, I know who to avoid, I know what people's roughly what their opinions on some areas are. And I know like this is going to be an issue that has to do with children. And quite frankly, I do think that my views when it comes to children in our community align with a lot of other parents. Why
Mhm.
wouldn't they?
Right.
Right? I would think that we all have the same wants, needs, and drives to make sure that our children are safe, taken care of, and provided for in a loving, nurturing environment. So I wouldn't think anything different or unsafe walking into a meeting tomorrow night regarding something that has to do with children in our community. But I appreciate the worry. I do. And I understand why you feel that way because of what I have shared. Thank you.
Is that meeting going to be, is there camera access in that meeting? Do you think it'll be on
What
camera?
happened last time was it was recorded, but it wasn't available till the next day. Yeah, it was
Okay.
recorded, but it wasn't available till the next day because it depends on how they do the voting. So that's my question. How are they doing the voting tomorrow? Are we going to have to raise our tickets up in the air again? Or are we going to walk down the aisle and put a ticket in a box on the left or the right? And then they go off and count the ticket boxes at like the end of the night and announce it that evening or the next morning. Like, I don't know. Like, it's always these meetings. They never tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Give
the
people
protocol?
an idea.
What is the
Protocol.
Just say,
Tell me like what to expect. I'll take my seat. I'll be quiet. I can physically be quiet if I know how long I'm expected to be quiet. If it's just an inevitable, you have to be quiet, like that shit gets like, it feels like I can hear it going.
Yeah. I
That's
bet.
what it sounds like inside my brain when I'm required to be quiet. It's not normal. Like I never have silence. I never have silence. I don't know if I'm helping my cause or hurting it, but I really don't. Not like arguing, but like just not silence. Like there's just
Right.
always thoughts.
Right.
Ooh, so fun fact. Did you guys know that if you're having and again, not a doctor, not a healthcare like professional, but fun fact, I had learned this and someone actually implemented it today and knew the same fun fact. So now I have confidence that it's a valid fun fact. So if you're in a panic attack, if you have sour candy, it will help disconnect your brain from the moment. Like just give your brain like a little glitch so that you stand a chance of controlling your thoughts and being able to control yourself back down to a comfortable baseline.
Really?
interesting.
How'd you learn that?
I had read it
Baby.
when looking for natural ways to handle mental health things. And so I had known it for a while. And then earlier today, somebody was exhibiting a situation where they felt like they were having an anxiety attack. And another person ran and got Sour Patch Kids and said, suck on these. And I was like, because it'll interrupt your brain. Like literally fucking Rain Man for mental health. Tell me your ways. People, tell me your ways. Like, I love nuggets.
Ice water.
It says
Also.
ice water, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a sensation that breaks the train of thought because like you're in a situation where you can't, you're no longer in control of it. The train has left the station. The momentum's building. You feel it like overcoming you. You no longer have control of it. No matter like you can try to, but you feel like you're screaming at yourself to stop something that you just don't have control of anymore. And so to do something either ice or hot or sour, something that shocks the body and interrupts the train of thought long enough so that if you are actively trying to control yourself, it'll give you a fighting chance for that moment.
I usually turn to like high quality baklava. It works wonders for me. Hey now.
I turn to high quality weed. It was-
Yeah, whatever works.
Oh my goodness.
My doctor was so cute though. Like, oh, hold on.
Other
Nope,
way.
the other way. Yep. No, you go. Yep. Ready,
All right,
go.
hold on.
Pa. Pa. High five. We're getting good at it.
That's good. It's good.
That's some high
I don't like it when
quality
you guys
food.
high five, like when you're just sitting next to each other. It gives me envy.
It gives me. Well, let's not do it so she doesn't get.
Don't.
That's it.
I can see
Sit
you.
down low.
I can see you. I can see
Oh,
you.
oh, sorry.
Oh, down low.
All right, what do you think?
Let's wrap this baby
Yes.
up, and I'm gonna have something to eat.
I want to go back to bed.
I want to go to bed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
She's been up for a long time today.
I'm sick. I'm something. I have an illness. I have not defined yet.
I know.
I'm not hungover because I didn't drink.
Is it Friendsgiving illness?
No, I think it started Saturday morning, so it was before Friendsgiving.
Oh.
But I just grinned and bear it last night, which I'm so glad I did because I had so much fun. But yeah, it's something. Hopefully it's gone tomorrow, but whatever.
I
I'll
hope
stop
so as well.
itching. High five.
Yep, I'll get some baklava tomorrow, some pizza, and some cold beer.
Yep.
You'll
Dive
be-
Bar Monday tomorrow.
You'll be right as rain.
Are you guys going tomorrow?
I believe so.
Yep.
That is the plan.
Mondays are hard. But
Yeah, I know.
want to see you.
We get there in the early side because we get out of work at a
I know.
yeah. So whatever, we'll be there if you can come by.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to come by, it's wicked fun. Where
Yeah.
is it?
Lou and Deb's in Norwood.
Norwood. Great fun.
Right in the center of town.
Yep.
Eric, I didn't have the food last night. I'm gonna have that after we hang up here. in a
Yeah,
moment.
he hit.
Oh my God, I can't believe you didn't make this way shorter then. You've been
Why?
holding out that whole time.
Oh, I'm all right. I can afford to lose a couple of pounds, Jen.
No, this was
He,
like,
no, don't listen to him because he hit Jess's spinach dip earlier.
I did have some
So-
spinach and a mushroom that
And
Gail
the Gail's
made.
mushrooms.
Oh my goodness!
so
yeah.
good.
I
So-
snacked.
We had Friendsgiving last night, and I just want to say, like, when it comes to our particular group of friends, they know how to do food.
Oh,
Like,
it's,
everybody knows how to do food.
yeah, it's wonderful.
It's so good.
Yeah, everyone would. Yeah, they're good cooks.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
good.
I'm not a great cook, but like I do clean up.
Yeah, you're a good cleanupper.
Yeah. And
Cleaner-upper.
typically I call dibs on providing entertainment.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Well done.
Yeah, that's
And
accurate.
Kelly did amazing. The kids had so much fun last night. Like I think honestly the highlight of the evening for me, besides eating an amazing plate of food, but it was all the kids that were just like going in and out of the house just at different times were totally self-sufficient. No
Yeah.
one needed the grown-ups. They all got along. It was a different group of kids than we normally see. Like it was a different like a change up of both grown-ups and kids than we normally see. So like once again, new kids to the mix. Fit in,
No
no
problem.
bother. Like the kids in this movement are so fucking phenomenal. They all love each other so much. And Kelly provided an environment that was just so cool for
Yeah.
both grown-ups and kids to have
Yeah.
a pretty awesome night, I think.
Yeah. We were watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer too, which is also good for adults.
Well, that was on last night?
Old
No,
school.
we
Nope. It
we
was
put
put
it on.
on.
Oh, all right, good. I
because
felt
it's a
left out.
classic. No, not
Yeah,
yet.
for me
It's too early for that.
What was Just Dance was being done out.
Oh
out
yeah,
front.
Nice.
outside, like
Yeah.
on the big screen. It was
Like,
awesome.
yeah, the whole garage was like a screen
Yeah.
for Just
Oh.
Dance.
It
Yeah.
was so funny watching the adults do it. Hi, Erica. That was funny when Erica was doing it.
Yeah, with all the kids. And
Yeah.
then you'd see a kid like run in. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm dying. I need a soda." And you'd go outside and you'd be like, "I'm a little bit chilly." But then you'd look over and they're all like,
Yeah, they do.
they're all dancing. It wasn't like little stuff. Like they were like throwing their bodies around.
Yeah.
Like it was quite impressive, I have to say.
It was impressive.
It really was. And then there was a pool table. Like it was like a fun house. It was a fun house.
So thank
There
you,
were
Miss Kelly.
sugar cookies for breakfast this morning.
Yeah,
Nice.
so good.
You're making me all hungry now.
I know, right?
I know. Go eat that plate of food. It was.
Can't wait.
That's the way to do it. Like 12 different chefs showing up with like dishes.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
good.
Yep, everything was just so delicious.
Yeah.
Mm.
But again, thank you both for always being amazing, giving me a platform. I hope people enjoyed the show.
I think they did, and we appreciate you coming on to have said platform.
Yes.
Because we enjoy it. I could just listen to you forever talk about this stuff. So I'm a major geek, but whatever.
You are a major geek, but I love you.
I could listen to Jen talk about politics all day.
I think it's so funny that I even talk about politics.
I know,
it's
isn't it crazy?
not, yeah,
I
it's so not like
I
who
know.
I am. But when asked or not asked, apparently,
Yeah.
I have strong views.
Hot Mess Express.
Yeah, I do. I wish Hot Mess Express. I wish that I had like a definitive answer on how I'm going to vote for this middle school. I really do. Like, I truly wish that I could, like, for my own self, like, know how I'm going to vote. But I think that's why it's so important to have the meeting tomorrow night, and so important that shows like you guys help get the message out and remind people that the meeting is tomorrow and this is what it's about and this is why it's so important. And this is how it impacts not only the parents in the community, but the elderly in the community or the new families trying to move into the community.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yep. Tomorrow night, 7:00 at the high school in Canton.
Yeah, everybody should probably post that later.
Yeah, we'll throw something out there to advertise on the page as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
right.
not fun meetings, but
No, they don't. If memory serves, some of the ones that we've seen are don't look too fun, but it's a must. You have to do it. You have to show up. You have to be there. You have to be involved. So
I know.
sucks.
It'll be interesting. I'm intrigued to see how they'll conduct the meeting and who's going to be speaking. And
Yeah, it'll probably, that's going to be a nightmare.
I know. But thank you so much. And hi, Rich. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Rich is here. He's been here. I think he's a little behind though. So
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Rich. Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks, Jen. Once again, we love having you, and we look forward to next week if that's what we plan on doing again. If it's well, maybe we can, and we can report back on the
We'll
meeting.
wing it. We'll see. We'll touch base as
See how
the
the week
week goes
goes.
on.
Yeah. See how the week goes. Sometimes the week snowballs on me, and like
I know.
Sunday evening just feels really
Close.
daunting. Yeah, like just for like because
Very
it's like
close.
the first day that I have to catch up on like life outside of work. So
Yeah.
like sometimes if like stuff from the week is already snowballing, like Sunday doesn't really work for me. Like
Yeah.
but
Well,
we'll
again,
see.
this is your show, so you dictate the
Oh, I
days
know
we do
you
and we
guys are
don't.
so
So it's all
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
It's fine by me. I just
Yeah.
my thing is like the every other Monday is going to Dive Bar Monday, and then we have a show on Tuesday. It's like I get so much shit to
Yeah.
prepare. It's so
Right?
luckily I had a lot of downtime last night. I spent like 6 hours creating videos and all kinds of ridiculous shit for tomorrow with our friend Whitey.
Yeah. Whitey will be on Tuesday.
Well, that's on Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
I like the direction that you guys are taking with your guests.
Thanks. We do too.
Yeah.
It's interesting having people from Canton or people who've experienced Canton and just people who have an opinion, people who like to talk about it,
Mhm.
So yeah, I like the direction it's going into. Whitey's good people.
He is.
And there's a lot of good people that we can talk to, so we want to do that.
Well, that's what it's all about. We're all about the people, and it's inside Canton or outside of Canton, the people that are involved in fighting this fight. They're very important. So we want
Yeah.
everybody to have a voice.
For the big picture of it, like that's
yeah,
what.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all fighting for the future.
Oh. Oh, you're going too far. You're both going too far. Ready, go. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's
Why am I a problem? I'm gonna practice this week with the mirror.
Okay.
I know, exactly.
I am.
You'll come on StreamYard in the middle of the week, and I'll be sitting here with my other phone.
Yeah.
High five myself.
That's what I have to do. I have to place.
Yeah, like maybe.
Huh?
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
That's all I had to do.
You get the slap noise too.
Well done. We'll work on it in the green room next time.
Yeah.
We'll have it down solid.
All right. Welcome to how my brain works. There was a problem and it's now solved. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night. We love you very much.
Thanks, Jen. We'll
I
talk
love you,
soon.
Lisa.
Okay. Thank you. So that's Jen, everybody.
Oh, that was fun.
Thank you for watching. I know a bunch of other shows are on right now, so we appreciate it. We're actually going to watch The Glare in a little bit once we settle in.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, well, Tuesday at 6:30 we'll be on with Whitey, and we're going to talk all things Canton and beyond with him. And this isn't a game to Whitey, and he's going to let us know what's going down. So check it out, and then we will see you guys all soon. There's a lot of stuff coming up this week too. The West Roxbury tomorrow, and the meetings and all this stuff. So a lot of stuff happening this week. So keep your ear to the ground.
Stay tuned.
Let us know if you hear anything.
Yep. All right.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys. We love you.
We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye now.